Hi all. I'd like to welcome you to our today's tutorial in regards of the RAMSES Clock Thermostat Bluetooth app, the operating principle, the setting and the features. My name is Elmar Löffler. I'm responsible for technical support in Theben Enterprise. So I want to make you acquainted with the operation principle and the features which you can adjust individually, and you can personalize this and that, and I want to make you acquainted with this. So first of all, we care about these, let's say, three dots here on the right hand side. So that means if you click on that, you find Einstellungen, which is German. So we turn to English, and in English, for instance, we can now operate our menu. So I want to make now the link or the pairing, which is called in Bluetooth communication, between the app and the existing product. So how to manage it. First of all, I have to open here the Dropbox, click on New, then one of the clock thermostats, which is in the surrounding of the app, is discovered. I click on this, confirm by pressing OK. And then after a few seconds, a menu window pops up, and here, for instance, we can give individual name, which I recommend, especially if you intend to use multiple of these room thermostats, for instance, in your private home, in your apartment or whatnot. So, and why these, let's say, naming or renaming, for instance, if you have more of this in operation, then it's by far easier to find and to personalize. So I found another one. I confirm it. This has to be done just once at that stage. I want to remind. And so here, for instance, I give the name, for instance, dining room or so. However, so we have individuality, for instance. I have an existing clock thermostat which is located in the dining room, and I have one which is located in the living room. And such easy it is, you just swap from one room to the other one, and automatically the app links to the clock thermostat which is controlling in this room the temperature. So what you discover here currently the existing room temperature in the living room, and you see now this is the current temperature which you had set while you're absent. If you come home, for instance, you can go directly, you have the option to do it manually, so you can do directly to your target temperature, which is currently reached. If you want to adjust, for instance, these desired temperatures while in your living room or while in your apartment in general, or when you are off, for instance, for business. So how to adjust these settings. And now we come back again to these settings here. I open again the settings, and now you discover there are a few bit more abilities to do your personalized settings. So if you want, for instance, to modify this comfort temperature, so just as an example, you want to have 22 degrees, and during the time when you are off, so 18 degrees would be fine. So you confirm it by pressing OK, save it, and done. And now you discover immediately, so now my comfort temperature during the time when I'm present in my flat, in my private home, is 22 degrees. And when I leave, so then immediately I have these 18 degrees available. So if I click here on the info button, here on that edge here, so then I get the information. For instance, currently the relay is off. Why? Yeah, my target temperature is, in this case, in this example, 18 degrees. My current temperature in the room is 22 degrees, so there is no need to start the heating. That's the reason why. So then we have external input not used. What does it mean? So for instance, for such purposes, if you intend to control the temperature in a public building, in a municipality or so, and you want to have a discrete clock thermostat, so RAMSES BLE is best choice. But in these, for instance, conference rooms, in these offices, for instance, are presence detectors to be installed. So just in case if somebody is present, then, for instance, the heating should be started. So for that purpose, we open again the menu Settings, and you discover here External Inputs. And I open now, and I define now I want to have a presence detector, and the presence detector should give me, for instance, 21 degrees if somebody is present in the room. So, and if I go now back and open this, so then you see presence detector is activated. So what next? So if in case you do not feel really comfortable today, so you need probably more warmth in the room, probably you became sick or such, so then the standard temperature is not enough, so you can rise the temperature by moving your fingers exactly on this colored ring. If it's too warm, so then anti-clockwise, and you reduce the temperature in the way I decided here. Okay, so you discovered probably here as well. So in the menu bar P1, P2, P3. So this means these are the typical weekly programs during the time when you're, for instance, off for your daily work. And during that time, there is no need to climatize, to heat up the rooms accordingly. So, and here you can put your personalized profile behind. So how to manage it, how to do it. So if you move this menu bar to the right, and then, for instance, you choose P2, just as an example, you click on plus. Then you have here, let's say, the first page, and with the first page, you decide, for instance, Monday to Friday. This is your typical working day. During, let's say, getting up early morning, so you'd like to have 22 degrees. Your time when you get up early morning is regularly, for instance, 6 o'clock in the morning. It's fine so far, and you confirm by pressing OK. You need another control command, which is, for instance, Monday, Tuesday till Friday. But you are leaving home, for instance, and when leaving home, you want to reduce your temperature down to 18 degrees. So we take this just as an example, and you're leaving home in general around 8 o'clock. Okay, so far so good. And confirm by pressing OK, and done. And I think you have enough idea and enough imagination to add some more temperature and time profiles in this app. So don't forget to save, but you are reminded. And then, for instance, this program you will discover here. So if you press here on P2, then permanently the program which you have created, like my example currently, so then the clock thermostat is acting and working accordingly. So back to this profile. So these programs here you discover as well, probably here, holiday program. So a holiday program means, so if this slider here is activated like this, then a holiday program is active. In my example, we have here 17 degrees, so I want to modify, for instance, while I'm absent, the temperature should be reduced down to 16 degrees. My holidays are starting at, let's say, 26 of April. So we leave early morning, 6 o'clock. So, and it lasts finally till, let's assume the 30th of April, and the intended, let's say, time to come back is, for instance, let's assume 9 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay. So, and as long as the holiday is started, so then exactly during this time period, these programs here, P1, P2, P3, are overridden, are deactivated, and when this date and this time is elapsed, then automatically, as an example here, P2 acts again. Quite simple in the operation, quite simple in the handling. So we take another moment to explain some settings here. So we have here, for instance, the control command. So control command, that means so how the temperature controller acts. If he acts as a, like here, PD control. PD control is ideal, for instance, for wall mounted radiators, for instance, so that gives in a short period of time, the reasonable warmth to the room. Or, for instance, you intend to control the underfloor heating, which is slow in comparison to the PD, to the wall radiators, for instance. So it's up to you, but this is a setting which should be, let's say, set by the heating specialist finally. But you can adjust to the desires and to the needs of your room, of your building. Room compensation, okay. This is just required if there is a inaccuracy affected by probably temperature influences from air streams or whatnot. So here you can adjust the current controlled temperature a few bit up and a few bit down. So the control settings we did, the external input I described as well. So we have the option here to implement a presence detector or, for instance, a window switch. So as long as the window is opened, controlled by a I/O contact, then the heating switches to frost protection when the window is closed again. So then it turns back to the desired or to the preset temperature, which could be a comfort, which could be standby temperature. So it's up to you. And here you see the options. What could be selected? It's either or, either presence or window contact. So just to clarify that, yes, I'm sure to do that. And we have here pin code. Pin code means, for instance, in a public building, you have multiple of these clock thermostats, or probably you have some people who have access with a Bluetooth app, and you want to avoid that everybody is modifying some, let's say, temperature settings or some time profiles. So you can give a pin code and log it accordingly. Okay. So that's it. Back to the start. So hopefully I could give you a reasonable good overview about the abilities, about the settings in the clock thermostat RAMSES. Hopefully you could get some hints, some good ideas, and probably you can get this emotion. How easy it is to operate and so on. Okay, see you next time.